Episode 3 of Loki may have genuinely exposed who the Timekeepers really are through this one little line. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you know, Loki, well, depending on how you feel, Loki is either a really good show or an okay show. I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes a lot. Episode 3 felt slower, but it was genuinely necessary. But we're not here to talk about a review of Loki. We're here to talk about the Timekeepers. And as you guys know, I've posted 3 videos about Loki already. I've been extremely suspect of them because they're extremely suspicious, right? Well, I'm just gonna get straight to the point and I'll tell you why. I think the Timekeepers aren't actually the Timekeepers, and there is only Kang who is controlling all of this. In my Kang and Loki theory video, I explained that there are really good, reputable insiders who have said on record, hey, Kang is going to be in Loki. That's one of the reasons why Kang was cast so early before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium had even started filming. And also, other characters who have deep comic connections to his character, Kang, are going to be in the series, such as Ravonna Renslayer, the TVA, and the Timekeepers. Now, like I've said numerous times, I have always been suspicious of the Timekeepers. One of the big reasons why is because of what we know about Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's just the other 3 Spider-Man and respective villains are showing up. I mean, other 2 Spider-Man are showing up in their respective villains. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, I don't need to explain that. It's in the title, Multiverse of Madness. And What If is an animated series that is specifically built to explore the multiverse. So the idea that the TVA put out, which is there is no multiverse, only one sacred timeline, automatically I was suspicious of that, and it didn't really make sense, right? And I was also really suspicious of the Timekeepers, and I was like, why do you get to decide what variant exists, and why do you specifically approve of events to where the Avengers travel back in time, and as a result of them traveling back in time, Loki, the TVA Loki, is made, but you somehow didn't figure out a way to do that without the TVA Loki being made. So I was just like, it's just too suspicious. Not enough stuff is adding up, personally. And in episode 2, really, we get to see Sylvie, who is playing Enchantress / Lady Loki amalgamation, say, this isn't about you, Loki. In episode 3, she just straight up says, oh, the TVA agents are all variants. And that's what clued me in, which was, I've already been super suspicious of the Timekeepers, and we know Kang is supposed to appear, and stuff that the TVA has been told and has been saying doesn't make sense. And none of them know that they're actually variants and had a previous life before, and have been fed this lie that they were created by the TVA and the Timekeepers. So that's when it all clicked. When Sylvie had said, oh, all the agents are Timekeepers, that's where it clicked. I was like, oh, they're all being manipulated by Kang so he can have the supreme control over all of time and reality. Because that's who Kang is in the comics. He is obsessed with this. And it leads to very interesting things in the comics, like when he fights different versions of himself, like Iron Lad and Immortus. But that's a whole other thing that I hope they adapt for Secret Wars. And so the main thing that I really wanted to focus on is that the entirety of the TVA is based off of lies, and no one really knows it. Now, like I said, this led me to believe that there are no Timekeepers. In actuality, there was only Kang, and Ravonna Renslayer, who actually is and has been his love interest in the comics, is probably helping him maintain this control over all of reality. And I suspect she is probably one of the only workers or TVA agents or enforcers who actually is aware of this in general, and is a big reason why she tries to keep it vague when Owen Wilson's character Mobius asks her about the Timekeepers, and he maybe is suspicious about them, but I doubt it based off of that conversation in episode 2 that he had with Loki. Now, how does Kang being the Timekeepers tie into the MCU going forward and into the future? Well, like I have already mentioned, I think he's full of shit, quite frankly. So we know whatever happens in Loki, is gonna either explain why events are happening in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, What If, and Spider-Man No Way Home. But in particular, I think this is going to be building up to Secret Wars, and I think Secret Wars is not going to be a comic one-to-one comic adaptation. It's very much going to be like Civil War, where it's Secret Wars in name. And the war is between Kang and his forces, whether that be Kang and other villains or that he recruits, or just Kang and Ravonna, versus everyone else, really. And his whole thing is he wants to regain control of the MCU or multiverse, really. And because, like I've said, he's obsessed with just controlling all of time. Now, where does this lead after Loki? Charles Murphy, I believe, was the one who talked about it, that some individuals who signed on during the first season had options for a second season in their contract, that is. So season 2 of Loki will more than likely be the TVA switching their role to be more of a stopping alternate realities and timelines from colliding into each other and creating madness, which would be extremely interesting. What else can we expect from this series? Well, aside from that young Sylvie that we saw in the trailer, I'm pretty sure, I think his name was Jack Veal, is playing Kid Loki, and Richard E. Grant is playing Old Loki, like I've mentioned in my King and Loki video. And basically, Loki is the very, very first piece in setting up Secret Wars, and season 2 will probably go more into what the TVA is moving forward, and possibly how they're combating Kang and how they are trying to maintain an orderly multiverse. I imagine it wouldn't be that much different than what the TVA is doing now, except for they're just not mindlessly killing off trillions of people to help Kang keep control. They're probably just going to areas where timelines are supposed to intersect and stopping them, maybe influencing events to not happen that way, or maybe even cutting off a branch timeline in that scenario. So just a little heads up of what's coming up. Keep a lookout for why Blade is going to be a 2023 movie. I'm going to be making a video giving you pretty much the rough dates for the rest of the 2021 schedule, because I think I figured out what it is for the 3 series that some people have been asking me behind the scenes, and I think I've figured them out. And then I will also be giving you a really rough schedule for 2022, because I believe I have figured out all the projects for that, or all the possible projects for that. And then I will give really rough dates as well, because things can change and whatnot, because Marvel has done that. I mean, they've admitted it. They did it with Spider-Man No Way Home, and in an interview they admitted it with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So, and with that brings us to the end of this video. If you like this super nerdy content, go ahead and like and subscribe and become a part of this community. We're trying to build really something really, really cool here, where people can just really be nerds in themselves. And here at the Nerd Theorist channel, we are dedicated to bringing you some of the best nerdy content about Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and anime. So, and that includes reaction, theory videos, and we are going to try to get into the news section later this year, hopefully in the early fall / late summer. Don't forget to share in your favorite subreddit, Facebook group, to your friends through Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.